So we've got a lesson here today, guys, from some feminists. They're going to tell us all about enthusiastic consent. This is from the Feminist Theory in Action Project. The idea behind the project is that if children, meaning men, learn about consent at a young age, then applying it to more mature situations later in life will be easier to grasp. You know what's hard to grasp, ladies? The yes part. I mean, everyone knows what no means, do we not? I mean, the only men who do not respect your boundaries when you say no are rapists. 99.7% of men who are not rapists understand what no means. The problem, ladies, is what exactly does yes mean? Even in your video, you've got a slide. Consent can be withdrawn at any time, even in the future. So you could consent enthusiastically today, and tomorrow say you didn't. And a man can lose his career, his college education, his job, and even wind up in jail, even though you said yes. Do you understand the confusion on the part of men? Well, wait a minute. She said yes enthusiastically, sober, no drugs, no alcohol. She wanted to bang. And so I laid pipe. And the next day the police show up at my door and arrest me for rape. And she claims she didn't consent, even though she told you with her own freaking words. Yes, you see, that's where we have a problem. So let's hear what these ladies have to say and trying to teach us Neanderthal children men what it's all about.
Hey, can I borrow your pencil? Yes, thank you.
Now, what if you decide in an hour you didn't actually let her borrow your pencil, she stole your pencil, and you go to the police? She stole my pencil. She gets arrested because you said. And we're also listen and believe, right? Women, well, if they say something happened, I mean, obviously you have to believe it. Well, they're likely going to believe you when you say she stole your pencil, even though clearly you said she could borrow it. Are you catching my driftola?
Hey, can I borrow your pencil? No. Okay, thanks.
Is there anyone that doesn't understand? No, like I said, someone with a criminal intent doesn't care what you say. But the rest of men, the vast majority, who aren't like that, when you say no, we get it. We understand. But the yes is the more important part. When do you know a yes is really a yes? And why should she be able to change her mind afterwards? And here we come up with a clear example of no. I do not want you to help me with my coat.
Let me help you with your jacket. No!
Does anyone not understand? No. No, I do not want you to help me with my jacket. No! Obviously, she doesn't want you to help her with her jacket. But what if this happens?
Can I help you with your jacket? Yes.
Okay, she agreed. She consented. Yes, please help me with my jacket. But the next day, she could tell police you didn't consent. What are men supposed to do about that, ladies? If you say yes, but you really didn't mean it, or you didn't say it with enough enthusiasm, or if you did, and you just felt bad about what happened the next day. How come you have that much power? That's something to contemplate, isn't it?
Hi, Katrina! Don't touch me!
Again, clearly you cannot walk up to somebody, get in their personal space, and grab them. That's sexual assault. Who doesn't understand that? But we're not talking about that. We're talking about this.
Hi, Katrina, can I have a hug? I'm more of a high five girl. Oh, cool.
And at any time in the future, she could say, I did not consent to that high five. I was intimidated. I was pressured. I felt there was a differential of power, so I had to consent. So now we're getting into the feelings territory where men like Aziz Ansari are supposed to be able to read minds. Isn't that right?
Hi, Katrina, can I give you a hug? Yes.
Again, she could change her mind 30 years later and say, I did not consent to that hug. Now, you might not be convicted of anything in the case of Brett Kavanaugh, but it's certainly going to fuck with your life, isn't it, if somebody accuses you of that even decades later. I did not consent to that, even though she did. So you see, it's not a yes and no. Everybody knows what no means. We just don't know what yes means, especially when women have the power to change their mind at any time. Link below, James Maxwell. Thank you for listening.